There it
That's
goes.
what's up.
All right. Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, D-Palm. Follow me on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram at DPalm66. You can follow the show at UDPod. Make sure you follow the entire MTR network at, you guessed it, the MTR network. You found us. Don't you dare lose us. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube as I drag this podcast into 2015. We're back. Happy to have everyone here again. Happy everyone's having a great week. Brought to you by DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. It is my job to help you qualify. Make sure you check out my other podcast, Life, Love, and Real Estate. We talk about all things under that umbrella. Episode 11 is first-time homebuyer questions. I know you're thinking, hey, it's been 2 weeks. This week, episode 12, what y'all going to do? We're taking a bye week. We're in the midst of Palmerpalooza. What that means for new listeners, my father's birthday is the 2nd of July. My wife and mother have the same birthday, the 11th. My birthday is the 18th, and we've got a guest today. We've got Joel. You know him, Joel Anderson. You know him from award-winning Slow Burn Podcast. He currently resides in the penthouse of podcasting, doing it at the Ringer, at the Press Box. But he's a man of the people, so he's back at the outhouse, hanging out with us, keeping it real. Joel, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. Good to see you, bro. You know what? Is the Ring of the Pod? Is that the penthouse?
Yup, man. Without getting to the pockets of the Podfather, it feels like it. It feels like, you guys are the wide reach. I love the Press Box because you get to talk about things in a way that is like, here's the story, ask an extra question. And that's kind of like, hey, ask one more question. And we're not going to get into it today, but the collusion stuff, when that broke a couple weeks ago, I was like, hey, I used to be an NFLPA agent. I used to be an agent. I know what these things mean. I was in the room. I had to go to the combine to hear the new bylaws in 2011. And so when this stuff started leaking, I was like, this is a bigger deal than people think it is. And everyone's downplaying it X, Y, and Z. But I love the format y'all have with the Press Box because it's in an era where superficiality reigns, it's that extra level of depth.
Oh man, well, brother, I appreciate it. And we're gonna have to have a conversation. And I peeked behind the curtain because I said before we came on that I didn't want to talk about collusion because I got something coming that I'm working on. So I want to talk to you. Then is what it sounds like. We need to talk at some point. But yeah, man, it is a big deal, and I think that it could be even bigger. So
right on,
yeah.
Couldn't agree more. We haven't talked. So for those who don't know, I know Joel a little bit. We were internet friends. We got to meet in person. Last time I saw Joel was in Brooklyn during the live show.
That's right.
I love that reaction.
That's right.
During the live show,
I'm thinking the national championship game for some reason, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I did go to New York. I forgot about New York. Period. Till you mentioned.
What was wild was I was texting you before the show, because we had talked about me coming up, and I mentioned I had some stuff going on, bringing me to the city. And I told you, hey, I'm gonna be at the show, and you were like, "Oh, you flew up for the show," and I was like, "Joe, I love y'all. I love Bo. Ain't no damn way I'm flying to New York to watch y'all talk. It happens to coincide. It all works out. But I was, hey, if you get a chance to see these gentlemen do their thing, either one of them speak live. It's almost like they get paid for their words. Fantastic show. Joel had a great time. Everyone knows who was there. We all had a great time. I love the format where you guys peppered the room beforehand with the index cards for questions.
Yeah, that was really, man. You know what? That was really, really cool, man. I think if I get to do the running show next time, though, I got some ideas for how I was telling Bo, it's like, hey, bro, when we about to transition, you know what I'm saying? So anyway.
No, I thought it was really cool because with this show, this is episode 348, and I've taken 2 other shows past 200. I like this. This is people are like, why do you podcast? You don't have ads. This is therapy for me. I get to talk to my friends about shit that's on my mind, and I don't get to bug my wife with my boring sports thoughts.
Stop it.
But it was really cool. Like I said, the dexterity y'all showed of being on your toes, being able to talk about anything. So when you asked me over text, what are we going to talk about? At episode 75 is when I stopped sending out rundowns. And I was like, I feel like a jazz instructor. Hey man, we're coming in on G. Follow it. Watch for the cues. Keep up. And but with you, I respected enough. I was like, okay, let me get this thing squared away. But it was so good to just connect and have us finally talking. And I mentioned you're a constant presence in my house because Matthew will be 2 in a month. I'll be 40 this week on Friday. I'll be 40. Matthew will be 2 in a month. And now we're at the place where students like, well, when he's da-da-da, we can talk about da-da-da. And I'm like, remember our friend Joel? You know how tired Joel sounds all the time? Like, my go-to refrain now is, people say, how are you doing? I say, I'm a 40-year-old with a toddler. How do you think I'm doing?
Man, bro, look, man. Look, man. Have you read, Jelani Cobb wrote something that ran around Father's Day weekend in the New Yorker. It's called The Old Man. Because Jelani is kind of like me. He had his kids, later in life, so to say. And
Yeah.
so it's really just sort of amusing about being an older father. And his father was an older father and like what it means and stuff like that. And it's beautiful. Like, it's just very lyrical, very, that's, Jelani's a great writer.
It's his
and a great
writing.
thinker. Yeah. But yo, man, I think about it all the time because I'm just like, my best friend, his oldest daughter is going to be a sophomore in college next month. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, that's the kind of a dude I played college football with, Barry Browning. You know who his kid is? Baron Browning. He's a linebacker. Yeah, he was a linebacker at Ohio State. Now he's in the league. He's been Baron Browning probably qualifies for a pension now, right?
Oh no,
Baron Browning qualifies for a pension.
Ooh,
I had and that's not even his oldest son. His oldest son, he graduated from Stanford like a couple years before, and maybe he played in the league a little bit. So it's just like, you think like you get to this age, and it's not just the tiredness and any of the other stuff. It's just kind of like, like my peer group, for the most part, they kids is on. Like, there were a lot of like high school graduations and stuff of friends that were in my peer group, and I'm like, man, I got a long way to go, dog.
That's like ultimately regional too, because like for the people I grew up with in high school, even them, it's been a little bit later, but like my college group, like that was in New York. That's a new Northeastern group. So like I'm not that far behind a lot of them. Yeah. But like, I hear what you're saying, and you're 100% right, because I ask you this: do you have older parents?
I don't. So my dad and mom had me when they were 31 and 27.
Okay.
And my dad, I mean,
my father. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, but I was talking about. Can you hear that? Can you hear the yelling in the background?
It's the whole. Hey, look.
That's what I'm saying.
Father, toddler,
this is what you want. You want. Think about that before you do number two. But
that's a different conversation, but yes.
Right. Yeah, but so my pops, he had a kid when he was 18 and went off to Vietnam. So that's my older half sister, and then there's me. So they came, so I was sort of the planned one, but even then I'm just like, my mom had me when she was 27. That's a baby, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's a baby. A 27-year-old to me now. So
the perspectives you get, like my father, when I was born, my father was 43.
Wow.
And then he had my little brother 2 years behind that. He'd been married before. I have older siblings, but it's one of those things that like my brother's passed last 2 weeks ago. The funeral was beautiful. He spoke at the service. He was 92. He was 51 when he had my friend.
Wow.
And so for us, it's like there's this weird generational gap to where like I have touchstones of that generation in between. But I was very much raised as the child of someone who was in Atlanta during the Civil Rights Movement. Like my mother was a Panther. Like I was raised in these things that are very different. And so when it came time for me to have a kid, I remember being 30 and being like, brother, if I had a child right now, I'd ruin that child. I'm not old enough or responsible enough. And I never really felt that way until it was like, okay, I have some wisdom to impart. I feel like I won't mess this up too badly.
Right.
And my main goal, I tell everyone, is to send Matthew to therapy for things that I'm not in therapy for. If he becomes an arachnophobic self-sabotager, then I've failed. Those are my shortcomings.
Right. Oh man. So wait, let me ask you, had you because I was at a point in my life where I was kind of like, if I have a kid, cool. If I don't, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I was there. We, the journey's the journey. Everyone's is different. We got into a place where it was like, hey, if it comes down to adoption in a couple of years, we'll talk about that. But like, when now that he's here, I feel like that's my purpose crystallized. Like, I was here to be a dad. Okay, cool. Now I didn't realize that before. Now I get it. I'm super glad I wasn't 27 and had this realization. But well, it's just crazy because I think something like you talked about the regionalism of it all. Because it's right. Because like I'm from Texas, as you know, and most people, you can even kind of feel it when you graduate from college and you stay down there. Like I lived in the South pretty much until I turned 35. And it's just like everybody's getting married. Like you might have your partner by the time you've graduated college, you know what I'm saying? And so you're getting started on your life, and it's just like that's a very normal thing. And it doesn't 23 and 24 doesn't feel as young down there as it does when you move to like New York, DC,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then it's just
Yeah.
like there's a lot of 30-year-olds and late 30-year-olds that are like, starting families finally. But that's like, that 10, 15 years behind my people back home. And so it's a really interesting thing. And I mean, the thing that really kind of struck me in this journey has been like, I didn't know what the hell my friends were going through, bro. Having kids, I totally took it for granted. I was just like, why is it always loud when I be calling you, man? People yelling in the background, and I was like, I know you're not gonna call me that back dog. Don't even.
No,
worry.
I didn't take it for granted. I was just like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There, before the grace of God, go on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I just, bro. I remember Janae and I, Jay, my wife, for people who don't know, we would like look on Twitter. We would look on Twitter or Facebook, and we'd see our friends, and they'd be like, "Mom and Dad go out on date night," and I'd be kind of clowning. I'm like, "Date night that big a deal for real? Y'all got to go out and go get some food." And I was just like, "Oh," now I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Like I was like, "Oh," because who gonna watch these kids, or who's qualified to watch these kids? Who wants to watch these kids? Can we afford the money to get somebody to watch these kids?
Look,
right?
And watch these kids at a certain age is be in my house while they sleep. Like a certain age, I'm paying you to watch my TV, and
yeah, man, yeah, it's just like, bro, do you have a babysitter or that you feel good with?
No, we do have very active grandparents who love seeing their child, grandbaby. My mother and father-in-law will come up. We have a room downstairs set up for them, it's a whole little space, and they're like this weekend because turning 40. That's one of the reasons you're here, so I can feel young. Turning 40 on Friday, but they're coming up Saturday morning and they're going to kick it with the kid overnight so I can go out and celebrate and have a good time. But it's like, I'm a nerd. I grew up the same way we all grew up on sports. I also grew up going to comic book shops. I used to go to Midtown Comics on Wednesdays at Columbia. I'd take the train down to Midtown, get my pull list, and then take the train to practice.
That's what's up, man.
And I am not going to see Superman for like 3 weeks, I don't think, just mathematically.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
people are like, oh, you want to come on the podcast? I'm like, I haven't seen the thing you want me to have seen.
Dog, bro, look. I mean, so often, like, I haven't seen it. I haven't had time. Like, when am I supposed to watch that? Like, my kids don't want to. They're not. If I have the TV on, it's gonna be on like Miss Rachel or like Bluey or Leo the Truck. Like, even if I can get that on, if I can even get that on, it's just like, bro, like I'm totally fun story. So I'm trying to figure out how much I can say about this without revealing too much.
No one's listening.
So yeah, that's something. No, so I've got a project that I'm working on that's going to come out later in the fall, right? And two of my colleagues, one is about my age and the other is a little bit younger, I think. And they were just talking about, yo, man, have you played the new college football, NCAA football? And I was just like, and they just going on, yeah, man. And that's how I know the rosters. And I did this, I got this team, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, cool. And then I had to tell them this weekend, I was like, yo, bro, real shit. I haven't played a video game since 2007. The one where Vince Young was on the cover of Madden.
It was a good game.
That was good. That was the last time I played video games. I'm like, bro, like, when am I supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, at one point, it was just kind of like, I just moved on the interest or whatever. Yeah. But now, even if I wanted to, and I think I would want to play NCAA football. It seems fun. I tapped into my youth. But I'm like, bro, like, at 5 o'clock, somebody got to go get those kids, and we got two of them now, so we can't even, you know what I'm saying? It's one-on-one all night, until bedtime.
Like, we're still in the early bedtime phase, so I do get to carve out maybe like 45 to an hour for myself, but it's never. I don't play anything online. Oh, man. I'm not here to get cussed out by a child. I play mostly narrative games because it's like reading a book or watching a movie. Like, oh, I got an hour of that book tonight. Good night. I turn it off. But like, I can't NCAA. I got friends who are very much like, "You gonna join our dynasty?" I'm like, "You don't understand my life at all," and that's fine. And that's fine. But I need you to recognize that the answer is going to be no for a while.
Do you think that it's because people don't understand, or do you? And I'm not trying to like hype our shit up or whatever, but like, I sometimes I wonder like how how active of a father are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, dog? Like, how do you have time?
I am blessed to have these questions aren't coming from fathers. These questions
Yeah,
are coming from my divorced friends and my single friends.
yeah,
None of the father friends are like, let me hop on this dynasty and get some recruiting in. You
yeah,
want me to go onto a video? You want me to take my precious free time to
bro,
recruit digital teenagers? Are you
dog.
crazy?
Dog, and that's the thing I'm trying to get these people to understand. I'm like, bro, like anybody in my peer group, any of my friends my age, none of them are playing video games. Like, I actually one of my homeboys, like his kids are a little older now, and so he's
Yeah.
trying to
And
kind of
that's when
get
you got
back
to get
into
back
it.
in to remind them who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like these kids are like 10 years old or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm just like, but I totally get it now. Like I just remember I was like, wow, why did my dad sit down and play video games with me, man? I just remember and I'm just like, oh, he was busy. He probably had shit he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
he
will say
probably didn't
this.
want to
My
spend his
dad
time
sat us
playing
down
Ninja Gaiden.
every year Zelda would come out. That was our game with our dad. Zelda
Oh,
was
that's what's
he
up.
was the action adventures, tell a story, but like that was that moment for us. But I will say this. As much as I'm excited for hopefully one day playing NCAA 26,
it'll be
my
it'll
wife
be NCAA like 31. Let's be real with yourself.
I'll get there. Oh no, I'll definitely buy it and I'll play it for a weekend and then I won't have time again. Like
There you go.
that's the life cycle of me buying sports video games.
Fair point.
My wife went to Beyonce this weekend,
Oh, did she?
and
Okay.
for her birthday, she went to she bought some nosebleed tickets. Like be done with it. Friends of hers got tickets through a broker. They found out their tickets were quote unquote obstructed, so they got better seats, opening up that row of seats. So Susan was in the 100 level for the whole show.
Oh,
The
nice.
obstruction was one of the platforms that she floats on to float by during the show.
Dog. Are
So
you
she had
serious?
a ball.
Oh my
A
God. Was this
ball.
at Phillips? Was it at Phillips
It
Center or
was
where
it.
was it?
No, sir. It's at Mercedes Benz.
Oh, because she
It's at
does arenas.
Mercedes Benz
She does
Thursday,
stadium Saturday night.
Friday, Sunday,
Okay.
and tonight.
Bro,
4 nights, 4 sellouts.
that's crazy, man. She's come so long since she tried to holler at me at church that one time, man. It's really,
Damn it.
it's so, I mean, I'm really proud of her, man. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce has really done her thing. I'm excited to see her take off like she did. You know what I'm saying?
It's very nice to be part of the zeitgeist. I'm entering the age range where things are tailored for me and my age cohort because Beyonce came out Friday night for my wife and the Clipse came out Friday for me. And I wanted to just say something right now. Joel and I are the good kids. We went to college. We played ball. We got families. We had careers.
Mm-hmm.
You would not have known it Friday afternoon. Listening to the way I was speaking on my text messages and the music that was flowing through my headphones. You're
Man.
like, damn, they don't call me to stretch. Nope.
I mean, it
Oh,
really is like exciting to me to see. It's just it makes me, and I've seen people tweet this. I'm like, I hope Andre 3000 is like listening to this and like, you can rap and be 50 years old, bro. Like, don't you want to get back in the booth and feel like this and move your folks like these brothers did,
we're going to sports next, but I want to say this. Andre 3000, his son went to my rival high school.
Hmm.
He lived down the street from my family's, my buddy's house off of Jet Road. I know he's moved since then, but his first, when they did the At Last tours or the tour that was attached At Last,
Mm-hmm.
the first show he came out before he had the message t-shirts. It was in a Love It cutoff hoodie, a Love It athletics hoodie. I
I've
went to
seen Love It.
Westminster. He went to Love It, or
Okay.
his kid went to Love It. 7 did. I need this motherfucker to rap.
Dog.
I've had my friends be like, I saw Andre at the park. He was playing. I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome.
Bro.
Good. Support the man. Tell his ass to
No.
rap. I've
No.
got friends. I've
Don't
got a friend
support
who's
him.
Big Boy's little brother. He's one of my friends. And I'm like, hey, man, can you make the.
Oh, I already know, big boy. Because Doc, think of how much money they could make.
I've gone through every channel, public and private. I'm like, can someone give this man a message?
Bro.
Not even money. And I know that that's how we judge things these days, and that's how we look at the world, and how much the return on capital could be. But if anything proved me this weekend, the world needs rap to be rap again.
Dog, think about so there was a time in my life, and I'm really gonna sound like an old man now, because I always was like, people would be like, man, why don't D'Angelo make more albums, man? D'Angelo need to make more music. D'Angelo's one of my favorite artists, you know what I mean? and I just be like, well, you know what, man, D'Angelo has really given the world enough. I was like, I appreciate the music that he gave. I don't think people need to pressure him anymore, and I can live off that music forever. I'm not giving my rap brothers any grace like that.
No
Dog.
grace.
I don't know why it is. I don't know what it is.
Grace.
I'm like, bro, like a mixtape, something, some features. You know what I'm saying?
Give me 16 on something. I'll buy an album I don't like to hear you. Let's go.
Bro, dog. Andre 3000, now I'm looking this up. What was there was the verse he had, maybe it was on a Kanye song, and it was about his mother dying. Do you remember this?
Yes.
It was, I mean, you can't, it's hard, I don't think it's really, they released it and then took it back, and it's kind of thing, you can't really find it.
Yeah.
Bro, it was just one of the so the song that probably touches me the most in the world is like the Kendrick Lamar, The Hearts part 1 through 3. Like I'm just like, it's just beautiful. Just the writing, the storytelling, like it touches me. Like I listen to it when I write. Andre 3000's verse on that, bro, like it almost brought tears to my eyes. It was just so beautiful. And I'm like, bro, you absolutely have something to say at this age. Like you can be talking to, dog, we're going through a hard time right now, Andre 3000. I don't know if you've noticed what's happening in the state of the world, the state of affairs going on out here. Like you could speak to some of that too, brother, And so I hope that No Malice and Pusha T have inspired, even though, and it ain't just coke rap, you know what I'm saying? There's other stuff that's, that
first track, I was like, I wasn't here for this, sir. I didn't come to start feeling these feelings.
Don't do that. Don't try to make me sad. Don't do that. I'm already sad enough. World's hard enough. Don't do that. But I mean, it really is a lane for these brothers, man. They can be talking to us and talking about the world. And actually, and I talk about this with another group of friends. Sometimes I'm just kind of surprised that more rappers haven't responded to this moment, this political geopolitical moment in the world. Like it just feels like there's a lot of room to talk about a lot of things and touch people. And I'm like, bro, like Andre 3000, this is your time. Step up.
And it does feel a little like where is Ja? But like if you're a rapper who has nothing to say, you end up putting up the Carter 6. If you're a rapper if you're a rapper who's always had something to say, like the next thing on my calendar that I'm excited for, my son's birthday is August 18th. I'm very excited for it. Before that is a little brother going away tour. I'm going to the Eastern. I bought those tickets the day they dropped. I'm going to the Eastern on a Saturday, and I'm going to see Little Brother because that last album, I was like, oh, these are dudes with mortgages. I can relate to all of these raps. This is fantastic.
See, Danny, that's the kind of thing you can do when you got one kid. You know what I'm saying? You go one.
Oh, for sure.
You squat up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna go do that and go to the. See, they're coming through DC area, and I'm just like, oh man, that sounds.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. That would be real cool, man. Yeah. Oh well.
Well, let's talk about some actual sports. I gotta put this in the order I want to go in. Okay, let's do this first. So we're gonna go hockey first, surprising everyone.
Okay.
Because I got a friend who's dating a young man who is he's from Canada, but he plays like pickup hockey or like whatever, like club level hockey here in Atlanta for the love of the game. Cool. We're drinking, having a good time, and we a little chatter going on. Hey man, how come all these Florida Panthers are taking less money to stay with their team? Why don't we see that in the NBA? And I said, that's a fantastic question, my friend. I don't know if he's trying to be cute or what, but he asked the wrong person. So I said, you're talking about the weakness of the NHL union. He says, what do you mean? I said, the job of the union is to propagate things for all players, which means the reason why the baseball union is so strong for so long, you could not turn down more money. They would not let you. People point at Tom Brady like, look at him taking sacrifices. That's a bad union man. That's a man who's harming the cap.
Yeah, man. He's good company man right there. So I'm sure Bob Kraft will love him for it.
What I said to him was, I said, you got to ask yourself why they have convinced you from the ground level that thinking of yourself is selfish and against the betterment of the league, whereas to actually push your league forward, you guys get brutalized. I've seen hockey players. I saw the hockey fight on a golf course the other day, which made me question everything. Because if I rock you 4 times in the face, ain't no damn way you getting back up. I don't care how big it look, man. Everyone's like, look at how tough this hockey player is. I'm like, he keeps getting up.
So you actually weren't that impressed.
Look. You think I'm the one.
You think he should have put him out, huh? You think he should have put him out?
If I've got you by the shirt and I hit you as hard as I can in the face,
bro,
and then I throw you and you come back at me?
That man wasn't there though, man. He bruised that man's brain. I think that he was somewhere else. Like
He's giving
I think he was out on his feet. He was out on his feet. He was coming. His body was moving, but his head was not. His mind was not in control of his body, because you could just see like all the fight hit kind of left out of him. He was just a vessel standing out there. But
man, maybe I've never been that drunk. Or maybe I've never been that drunk and gotten hit in the face,
drunk or whatever. You know.
Well, look, hey, I'm protecting all parties. Hasn't he been hurt enough? He's eating them fists.
I mean, that man definitely got a bruise on his brain, man. That's a traumatic brain injury out of that joint there.
And that's and that right there, like that was why is golf so segregated? I have no desire to play golf. If this is the
a culture of violence out there. Also,
man, where are the fathers, Joel?
Where are the fathers? That's what I'm saying, man. I was like, bro, take this criminal behavior out here inflicted on all these other good, safe people. Man, the thing is, too, so I can kind of understand golf. I've never been interested in it, never wanted to play it.
Yeah.
But I know that if you don't like your family, if you don't want to be around your family, it's a good thing to go do, because it's just an excuse. Yeah, you're just going around hanging out with your boys, drinking, and doing a little whatever. That's what it always seemed like to me. Which I guess like fishing could sort of accomplish the same thing.
You can put a lot of leisurely activities in that space. Yeah. I go to a golf tournament once a year, every year. My boy who passed, we do a charity thing, and I pay for the full round because it's going to good cause. Yeah, but I just ride golf carts, harass my friends, and drink. And I'm like, I'm doing what y'all are doing. I'm just not swinging a club. Like we're having the same day. We're having the exact same day because I'm not frustrated. Man, what are we doing?
I remember a friend of mine got married, and part of the bachelor party joint was just like, they went out and played around the golf. Yeah. And I did the same thing. I was in the cart with him. I had a book. You know what I'm saying? Because this was 2004, so this is before Twitter and everything else, and I'm just out there just chilling. I'm like, hey man, whatever, get at it, have fun.
I got fresh air. This is a beautiful day. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I'm going around with my friends. Got that little chatter in the background, so it was fine. But yeah, I didn't need to swing no clubs. I didn't have to get into it like that.
Did you see over the weekend one of our greatest shooters hit the ultimate shot?
Who?
Klay Thompson.
Oh, yeah. You know what I thought about when I saw that?
What do you think?
Why y'all do that, man? Because, this is what I always think. This I don't know why I think like this. Because people, when they're in love or they they get excited and they want to let the world know. And I totally get that. Do you think they're going to get married and live happily ever after this?
What? You're taking the wrong lesson. It's the same lesson Cardi B did with Stephon Diggs on that boat.
What's that? What's the lesson?
Music money's fake. All you rapper dudes can no longer holler because their salaries are public knowledge.
Oh, that's the
guaranteed money is public knowledge.
It's gonna be hard for her to go back to latest rapper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I hope
we can clear these masters like.
Yeah, Clay. That lifestyle she living right now. That's a whole different ball game right there, brother.
It's easy. You and I took different. I was like, oh, this is her announcing something. This is a rap niggas need not apply. Don't call here again.
So, and I'm trying to remember. James Harden gave Lil Baby money. Lil Baby didn't give James Harden money. Because I don't think Lil
Baby couldn't give James Harden money. He gave him all his money.
The money he gave. That's what I'm saying. I was like, bro. But you were right about the money thing. But I'm just like, yo, man, y'all know y'all not gonna make it. You know. By the end, I guarantee by the end of this year, by the end of this year, it's over. And it's just like y'all went through all that.
No, I want everyone to know Joel Anderson is a busy man. He is a important man. He took time out of his day to come sit with me because I get to remind him that he and I are old. And our values and what we hold dear, they don't play here no more.
That's not fair.
It's an attention economy. You and I were raised with the concept of a thing these kids have never heard of, and that's shame.
That's fair. That's a good point. They've
been filming themselves since they could do anything. They don't have it.
Have you ever just thought about the fact that you can't even take an ass whooping in private no more in the world? Like nobody just gets beat up in private. Like it's always on video. As soon as somebody starts fighting, somebody bring out a camera. It's like, man, I can't even take an ass whooping in quiet.
and I hate the fact that I'm about to compliment you again. This is getting out of hand.
No, go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
what you do for a living, what I do for fun, watching the athletes do it is weird to me because you're telling stories you wouldn't have told anyone.
Yeah.
You're exposing parts of yourself and yours for the clicks or the clout or the dollars. And I'm like, why do I know this about you, sir?
Bro, do you know how, I mean, allegedly Michael Jordan dated Robin Givens. Allegedly he dated Whitney Houston. We don't know. He ain't told us, and we would have never known. And that is kind of cool. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. It's just like, man, it could have.
The remove the mystery.
Yeah, man. And I'm just
because everything you learn about these people makes you like them less. Hi, Drake. Like,
but it's so real. And I mean, that's the kind of thing I kind of respect about Kendrick is just like, I mean, he's a married man, so it's okay to, I got my kids or whatever. But it's just like, dog, Clay, man, like what? I mean, I feel like Meg is probably the person
that was
like, if you don't post me,
Clay's in charge of that one.
Yeah, if you don't post me, and I was like, all right.
This is the man who needs to take a boat to games. Bro, he don't give a damn.
And Clay been out there, you know what I'm saying? Clay done had his fun. We ain't seen that one of them on his timeline.
He was not in charge of that call. That was a audible from the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like, and I'm trying to remember the story that I heard this from. I'm probably stealing from Bomani, but he heard the story. It was somebody had interviewed David Justice, Atlanta legend, and they were like, he had Halle Berry, he lost Halle Berry, and they're like, man, David Justice lost Halle Berry, but it was also like, but I'm David Justice though, I'm David Justice in Atlanta. I'm gonna be okay, you know what I mean? And I kind of feel that about Clay. I'm like, if Meg presses me about that, I'm like, that's too bad. that's too bad, but I'm gonna be okay.
I'm gonna say this right now because I understand that line of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Halle Berry's still Halle Berry.
Halle Berry's still Halle Berry, but again, he's still David Justice. I mean, but David Justice probably still got baseball money. He still is David Justice.
Look, I'm sure he's David Justice.
Do you think he can? Do you think he can't get a Halle Berry approximate right now at David Justice's age?
See, and now we get back into the values because you're talking about an approximate for the outside world to see. I'm talking about that's Halle Berry, dog.
I'm sure. Look, man, dog. Look, Halle Berry is a beautiful woman, like
beautiful,
one of the beautiful of ever. But she ain't the only woman in the world.
She blew a kiss at Nas.
She blew a kiss at Nas. You know what I'm saying? At the Barbra Streisand concert. I was like, damn, that was a real line. Nas really lived his reps.
y'all talked about that on Bo's show, and I laughed for about 20 minutes.
Nas really lives his reps, man. That girl, she really did blow a kiss at him.
I trust him. I trust Nas.
I trust him, man. I was like, damn, I wouldn't even. I'm just thinking that's just artistic license. I didn't think it was for real, and I'm like, oh man, he's really putting us up on game. I need to look at it. I need to listen deep. I need to listen even closer now.
I'm not keep you much longer. I know you got kids and life and stuff, but I do want to ask you this because we're talking about trust now. We're talking about the aspects of trust, things that we can put our faith into. I'm 40. Friday. I'm not 40 yet.
Man, I'm glad you said it. I got to write that down so I can holler at you on the 18th, man. You know what I'm saying?
Am I about to believe in the Hawks?
Well,
let me just frame this up. I was born in Missouri City, like you, St. Joseph's Hospital. We moved to St. Louis when I was a child. My little brother was born. Moved to Atlanta in '88. So I've been in Atlanta since I was 3. I'm an Atlantan. I did the Olympics. Richard Jewell was a little league coach of mine. It's a whole other story.
Wait, is that real?
Atlanta's not big. Dog.
Wait, are you serious about the Richard Jewell thing?
Richard Jewell, his lawyer when he sued the AJC was the father of one of my teammates. The lawyer defending the AJC was another girl in my class at Westminster. It's not that big of a town.
Damn.
So I love Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I left the Braves when they moved into Cobb County because you have to pass over Lester Maddox Bridge to get there.
Oh yeah, Lester Maddox.
Also,
man, legend, segregation legend.
Legend in the game, baby. After seeing the Raptors of segregation. This is 2 years after my parents moved to Cobb County because they were downsizing. And so when they were there and they were building the stadium, you watched the Democrats and the Tea Party both fight this expansion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you've got them allied together in like 2009, like that's some shit.
Yeah, man.
And so I don't go to that stadium. I will eventually have to because I have a son. And eventually, Dad, dog game, and then we'll go. I get that. For now, I'm staying on my little principles. I broke up with the Falcons when they cut Matt Ryan and chased Deshaun Watson.
Man.
Because they said to me that not only are we done with Matt Ryan, which is fine, you move on, but we chased a rapist with no alleged bad man with no backup plan. And this is right around the time when Georgia's winning national titles. And I'm like, if I'm so happy on Saturdays, how dare I let you ruin my Sundays? I'm out. So I walked away. And I'm the dip in Hawks fan. I come in like I'm there for the opening of the season. I'm there around All-Star break, and I ride it out. When Trey did that shit to the Knicks, you'd have thought that I owned equity. Every person I know in New York was getting annoyed. Why are you texting me? I haven't talked to you in 10 years. Anyway. And so, the trade thing happens that we fall in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the middling years, not like the middling years were like Josh Smith's first year and won 12 games. That was horrible. That's pretty bad. But now with these moves, Porzingis and Nichols, I'm like, well, maybe the dream. That's what I am a Dream fan. How about the Dream? They have priced your boy out. The year we had season tickets is the year Susan got pregnant. So if you go through those photos, you can watch my wife get more and more pregnant in those seats through that season.
Like all of a sudden, it's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah.
But like now they've gotten very proud of it. They got Brittany Griner. They got a whole ass team. It's good for them. Am I about to put my faith back in these Hawks?
It sounds like, I get the one thing about it, man, is that the East is pretty light.
That's
but what does that feel like? But what you get how would you feel if you had like a Jimmy Butler in the Heat finals run about your team? Like, would you feel good? You feel good? Really?
As you said that, I'd feel great.
You would be okay losing in the finals, at finals in which you didn't have a competitive chance.
Okay with is a different. I'm a Georgia fan. Expecting titles is not my heritage. It's not my testimony. I don't come to this. I'm not one of those chosen franchises where we've got to have titles or it's not worth it. No, there's a lot of. I played Ivy League football, Joel. We're not here.
In Columbia at that. Columbia is forever sorry for the. Well, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying. Well, TC, you got.
You recruited me. Y'all, I got the letters here, baby. I looked them up. I was at my mama's house last weekend. I found the letters. Y'all wanted you, boy.
Okay, I didn't say we did. All I'm just saying is that I'm just saying, just TCU and Columbia. We, what I'm saying, we talking about a little something. Y'all kind of, Cornell, Brown. That's not the same thing as beating Texas 8 times in 12 years. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing as
we're gonna talk about basketball in a second, but you brought up Texas. I need someone to talk me out. So I talk to Felder every Friday on here.
Felder Friday.
And every Friday he tells me how much he fucks with Arch, and how watching his teammates mess with, like, oh look, they love him, and he's working on me. I'm coming around to Arch Manning believership. I need someone to talk me out of it.
I think he's probably going to be pretty good. I don't know how good, but I do think he's probably got. The thing is, man, is that he gets to play for Sark, and whatever people want to say about Sark, man, that motherfucker can dial up some offense. He can call offense for you, bro. I don't think Quinn Ewers is good at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when he dropped to that low in the draft, I was like, that's about right. I was like, I never saw anything in him that made me think that he was any good. And I think that Arch has like some undeniable physical talents. He's going to be playing for that guy. He's going to have he's going to be surrounded by so much talent. Like, now UT has an offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, will he be Eli Manning good? I don't know. But I do think that he's going to be. I hate to say, because look, I hate Texas. I don't like Texas. I don't like.
And that's why I wanted. I brought you in for your hatred of Texas and your noted hater background. Especially the way TCU is now. I'd probably take more joy in seeing Texas lose than TCU win. And so it brings me no pleasure to say that, but I do think that they're going to be pretty. I think the Arch is going to be pretty good, man. He found the right dude to play for, So that's unfortunate, but I'm sure they'll screw it up. And as you mock Columbia football, I want to remind the world the greatest quarterback in the history of the Chicago Bears, Sid Luckman, Columbia University graduate, but whatever.
Look,
That's what it
I'm
is.
not trying to hate, but when
No,
I was
it's
growing
okay.
up, do you know what I knew? Columbia is Prairie View football to me because Prairie View was good. It's good now. They're like a solid program. But like when I was growing up, Columbia football was a national punchline. You know,
Tell them
is
why.
that? Well, I mean, didn't they lost what 80 games in a row? Is that
The
right?
longest losing streak in Division One football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I knew Columbia football from, and then it was Marcellus Wiley. Do you want to claim him? Is that
No,
the thing you want? Okay.
that's fair.
Okay, I'm just saying. So that's what I remember. I have newfound respect for them. I know that they've been.
Ivy
And
League champs last year. Ivy League champs. So I'm
I,
saying.
I watched them. I watched them on TV when I was in New York every day. Sometimes they show those games out there, and I thought, okay, I want to see a little Columbia football on TV, dog. So I'm a degenerate in that way.
Yes, you truly are. So the Hawks, I'm trying to talk myself into them. The East got weak.
Yeah.
I think it's doable. I think I like Quinn Snyder. I like the young Bucks. I like the fact that Trey apparently they tricked him into buying in. I don't know. I
don't
just
think Trey gets enough respect, man. I really don't.
I know he doesn't. Led the league in assists last year. Everyone still paints him as what he used to be. It is what it is.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't like how people talk about Trey. Like I'm just like, no, he's dude is good. He's productive. Like he's been solid. Like I mean, no, he's not a great defender. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay, right.
Cool.
But like, look what he does on offense. You
Yeah.
know. But yeah, man. So I mean, I think that like if you're excited about a 1 or 2 year run until like the Celtics get healthy again, assuming they get healthy again.
What more we're looking for in sports?
Are you worried about Are you worried that like Porzingis seems to like have never gotten better from being sick?
Perpetually. But
Okay.
I'd rather, that's a worry. I'll welcome that worry. I'll welcome that worry over will these young kids develop. I'll welcome that worry over can Clint Capella be anything but an offensive black hole. Like I'll worry about that.
Man, I mean, I'm excited to get Clint Capella back too. I was like, damn, man.
There's my next question.
I kind of missed it.
talk
I was
about
like,
your
it's nice to have you again, man.
Because I am as a Houston, I'm born in Houston. I love the Rockets. I have warm feelings for the Rockets.
I appreciate that. Okay.
But when people talked about LeBron and he's too old, and then they still got gassed over Kevin Durant going to the Rockets, I was like, wait a second, sirs.
I'm conflicted because I think the Rockets are really, really deep, and they don't necessarily have to depend on Kevin Durant in the way that like those Nets teams did or the Suns did, right? But the thing that really kind of got to me was watching the finals and seeing how intense and how hard, like, bro, you have to line it up and play hard as shit for 100 games. And then at the end of the year, you got to play the Thunder, dog, and that defense.
Can I be like, we're having old man talk a little bit here.
Yeah.
But like, that's one of the things that's really changed for me watching this stuff. It's like, oh, Ben Wallace couldn't play today.
He couldn't be on the floor, bro.
And people are like, oh, well, the basketball was better back then. It was different.
It was different.
It was different.
Yeah.
I can't say it was better because the median skill level to be on a basketball court in 2025 is so high.
Bro, like, I mean, it used to be like, I mean, I think now they'll kind of ride with you, especially if you got enough athleticism and you can add to the game. If you can't shoot, you know what I'm saying? But like, we grew up in a world where it was okay to not shoot. Like you just like some guy. Like my joke about Eric Snow is I never saw him hit a jump in his entire career. You know what I mean? And
I was a Dynamo Iverson guy, and every year I played with the Sixers, and every year I'm like, God damn Eric Snow.
Yeah. Eric Snow was like, bro, like Eric says, Eric Snow ever gonna hit a jumper. But like I felt like you could make it in the league like that. But now if you can't shoot or if you can't defend, you're not going to be able to be on the floor in the playoffs. Like maybe that can work in the regular season or whatever, and you can eat up some minutes or whatever, like, you know, just buy some time. But like now I think they say like it used to be judged by like your star. So like you could understand why teams they load up and have 3 all-stars on a team.
Yeah.
And we'll get through it. You can't do that no more, bro. Because those kids are going to get run down, and then they'll still target your weak guy. They'll keep running their offense until they get your dude into a pick and roll or whatever.
Yeah.
The weak link on your team. So yeah, man, the median level of talent on the floor is a big thing. And so the Rockets are deep. They got a lot of dudes. You know what I'm saying? They can go 8-9 deep. I think Reed Shepherd's probably going to be pretty good, even though he probably, you know, still going to be a defensive liability. But yeah, man, like, can Kevin Durant make it do that, and then at the end of the get to the Western Conference Finals, and I might have to face the Thunder. That's tough, man.
Okay, so this is why I'm gonna push back, because I want you to embrace the journey. I want you to find the joy in this, because if we come in this saying, because you asked me, are you going to be happy with a 1 or 2 year run? What more is life than a series of 1 or 2 year runs?
Especially in this life.
Look, and as this is a larger conversation, but like as we've watched the glorification of the suits over the players over the last 20, 25 years, when an entire generation of melanin deprived kids were told you can't do this, but you can tell them what to do. And now we've got conferences built around the suits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, look at this Eagles team. Look, Howie Roseman in the roster construction. Like, man, what are we do? So that's where I always push back. I'm like, I'm here for the on-court. Like when they say, oh, you can run your program in Madden. Like, why would I do that? That sounds like paperwork. I don't like spreadsheets in my job.
Oh my God. That's the one thing I was just, especially about this like new iteration of like media content, even though like, you know, whatever, but like the GM stuff is kind of weird. But also, I'm just kind of like, if you're not a player, why do you care about film so much, dog? I hated film. Did you like watching film when you were in college? I hated watching film as a
I went through phases. If I was playing well, I liked watching film.
Yeah.
if I thought it was gonna be a good week, I was like, but if it was like, oh, it's gonna be a hard week, we were playing. I'm not gonna name the team. We were playing a kid who had NFL dreams, and he was a 3 technique, and he was gonna be on my ass all day. And first pass play of the game, I want to say second down, the play was 42 spot. My left tackle, the gentleman who's no longer with us, and I had talked about this because they like the pin and twist and the inside twist, and we knew it was coming. So I said, all right, cool. I jammed the kid up real good, take him down to the A gap. The twist can't get there. And as he's trying to widen back out, my left tackle dove at his knees. It was slow. I had a great game because he was looking left. He was looking for the tackle the rest of the game.
Oh, wow.
So I'll watch film on ways to like, let me get an edge. If I know it's going to be a problem this week, let me find an edge.
Right.
But you're right. Like the film study nerds, the capologists.
Bro.
Hey, man, the people whose job this is don't like this part of their job.
Bro, dog.
Why? And the answer, for those who are still listening, thank God, the answer is we sold these ads. We got to fill this time. Definitely. Like that's the answer.
Right. But I was like, bro, like you really want to watch the all 22 for real? Dog. I was like, I never. That was punishment, man. I was like, I want to play.
I'll tell you what, when I was an agent and I had to watch it, I hated it. Yeah. I hated it then. If I wasn't actually involved in the play, I was like, why am I watching safety play? Bro. I don't like this. I had to learn how to watch safeties.
Bro.
And then I had to evaluate safeties. I'm like, what am I doing? How I got here?
I did not. I want no parts of this, man. No parts of that. No parts of that.
Joel, thank you so much, fellow Missouri City native, for coming on, man. Tell everyone they can find all your stuff, or they can just Google Joel Anderson.
They can just Google me. Yeah, you know, Thursdays on the Press Box Pod at The Ringer. I write every now and again for the site. You know, I try to write every couple of weeks or whatever. So that's it. That's all I'm doing, man.
Can you hype up the current piece, man? Can we hype up the current piece? That one got me. It affected me.
Oh, well, thank you.
It came out the day before the Clipse album.
Oh,
and I read that, and then I'm serious. Like this was like I was like, I'm gonna get Joel on.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Well, I wrote a piece about Kerrville in Texas and about how like basically Texas is and their local politicians are failing those people down there. And my family on my father's side originally is from, for people that don't know, from Kerrville. I spent a lot of time in Kerrville growing up. Not the side of town where them church camps were or anything like that. I didn't know nothing about that. I didn't know that was going on in Kerrville. But anyway, education. So I was learning. But anyway, so I wrote a little bit about that and about how Texas deserves better. America deserves better, man. Amen. America deserves better. So thank you. Thanks for coming on, Chris. For those who follow the network, Chris is bringing back the insanity check. I'm so sorry. It's good for our content, but it's bad for the world when this podcast comes back. But I'll be on there. We're getting the schedule all hammered out now. MTR, you're gonna see a lot more stuff on the feed. But yeah, we'll be back later this week. We're gonna have Felder on Friday. I'm gonna try to grab Chris this midweek to talk about his favorite thing. So my editor-in-chief here, the guy who runs the website, Chris, been friends for years. We've done live shows. We did a lot of the nerd comic stuff. But he got into college football 3 years ago because he was like, "Oh, this is chaos. Yeah. Oh, this is. Oh, I just love. I don't even like football. Is great." He stopped giving the NFL. He's like, "I still need football." He's like,
what have you been doing? You've been hiding this from me? I'm like, no, I just didn't want you exposed to the psychosis that is the how much can we pay these kids without anyone knowing? And now we're back to the old West.
Man, you don't want to be a part of this world, man, if you can do it, but welcome.
They put in a salary cap just to give the bag man something to do. We'll be back later this week, guys. Again, thank you, Joel, for coming on. We'll try to get Chris this week, and we're definitely having Felder Fridays. It was my birthday, so probably going to act up a little bit. That was your show. There is no outro. See you guys later this week.